I do something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make a you know what I'm talking about.
Good morning to St. Valedictorian. No, let me stop. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the Side Jawn. I'm your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
What's up, everybody? This is Sharon, the Chocolate Girl. I'm glad to be here this morning. Glad to be here with you, Dennis, on my favorite day of the week.
That's right. And we got some special guests in the building because this episode, as y'all know, on our segments known as Putting It on the Pod. So we got the Extra Point Podcast in the building. Coming up to y'all, Beast Triller from Detroit.
What up, Doe?
What up, Doe?
All right, we got the big dog in the house, John Collins in the building.
What's good? How you doing?
And we also have Munchie. Trivia. I can't call you the Trivia King, but I can call you Trivia Munchie. I can't call you Trivia King yet, but I call you Trivia Munchie.
How's it going, everybody?
Well, everything's going good. Wait a minute. Who the Trivia King? Is that you, Dennis? Are you supposed to be the Trivia King? What's up?
Well, I won a lot of trivias. You know, I like trivia because it picks my brain, but I haven't been in one in a while. But trivia, I like trivia because it helps me, picks my brain, and makes you go back down memory lane and think about something. Back down memory lane. I won't call myself the king, but if we start another trivia show, I am going to win it. I just know.
Oh, okay. All right, then. All right. Love the confidence.
Right. We'll let Kevin be our trivia king for our show for us right now. He's the one giving out trivia.
I like questioning. I like bringing up the trivia questions. I like looking them up. I like to see if I can stump people.
Okay.
And test their knowledge.
Sounds good. So, it's been a pretty good week for me, but I want to know about y'all. How have y'all week been? We're gonna start with you, big dog.
It's been hectic. You know what I'm saying? Wish I had better days, but it's taking it every day of the week. I'm dealing with depression right now. No lie. There's a lot of things going on, but every single day I try to start up fresh. Start a new beginning every single day. So, yeah, but I'm trying to make it.
Just let you know we praying for you, brother. We are praying
I appreciate that.
All right. B. Striller, what you got?
Well, it's just been a hard week at work, man. Just a hard week at work. But those are expected to come. And those are expected to be there. You just got to get through it. Other than that, though, I'm 5-0. I'm good.
Okay.
5-0.
5-0. That's what I was about to say. I thought 5-0.
Boy, I
grew up at 5-0 was the police.
That's right. I'm good as the police.
He is Mr. Detroit, man. If Detroit was a person, it's him. I tell you, it's so Detroit.
Well, thank you.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Good thing.
A lot of people in Detroit be like, yeah, right, whatever.
Okay, Monk, how's your week been, Monk?
Could be better, could be worse, but I can't complain. Always keep in mind that, no matter how bad you got it, someone's got it worse. So,
absolutely.
True that.
That's absolutely right. And Chocolate Girl, how about yourself?
Well, I'm feeling better than I felt all year. So that's a good thing. So now I can say I feel pretty good today. On my way to 100%. My grandbaby's good. My sister over here. My son is good. We all good. Everything is good. Had a pretty hectic week, but
right.
Even the hecticness of the week is good.
I'm glad to see you a lot better.
Yeah, same here, for sure.
Thank you. I know a lot of chocolate girl. I sure appreciate it because prayer makes a difference. It makes the difference.
Prayer changes. Prayer changes.
It sure does. So thank you to everybody. Oh, okay. Please like and share the show. Like and share the show.
Yes. And in memory of Kellen Lane.
Share the show.
Yeah.
Kellen,
the show.
Yeah.
All right, now, like I said, today's show is about putting it on a pod. And, with us, we always be wanting to know what made people go on a podcast. So the first question I got for you guys is, how did y'all get together? That's the first question.
All right, well, I guess I have to be the one to talk about that because I'm actually the one that kind of started this. Okay, a couple of years ago, I was on a group page, which I would not name because they can get no clout off me. I was part of that group page, me, Kevin, Bishra, and before I even knew them, I was on it just screwing down one night, and I see this group of guys that go by NSN. I don't know if I can say the name on here, but it's a group of guys that was on Facebook Live, and it happened to be discussing football. You know what I'm saying? It was around 11 o'clock at night, I want to say. And all I heard was somebody say something about Pittsburgh and Ben. And everybody know how I feel. We say something about Ben. So and when I seen that, I got on live with them and we debated for at least about 4 or 5 hours straight. I ain't gonna lie. It was all love at the end of the day. And it got me influenced to want to do my own thing, for podcasts, talk about football. So I started doing Facebook Lives, and then I partnered up with another guy, which I will not name either. And we created a group podcast called The Zone. We did that for about a season. Things got hectic, so he wound up leaving. And B Shirley was one of my main guys that always been there. Every single time we went live this show, B Shirley was always there. So I got a first type of way about the person that left. And I was ready to stop doing podcasts altogether. And B Shirley was like, "Hey man, I'll do it with you, man. We could do that." It influenced me to get back into it. So when that happened, me and him created the Extra Point. And then follow along, I want to meet Kevin after a while. He started off getting on my nerves when I first met him, but then he became a cool guy after a while. And next you know, it was history after that. So I'd like to thank Bishilla and NSN for influencing me to become a podcaster. And that's why we're here today. That's how I got started.
That's cool. Now, what year was that you got into that 4 or 5 hour argument? Was that like 2019?
2019, more likely. Probably was 2019 when that happened.
Yeah, I think I know what the conversation was. It was Ben's fault that AB left.
Yep, there it is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was a big conversation. Yeah,
it was. It actually was.
Okay. All right. So you started the Extra Point, and you had to start your own fan page on Facebook at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And how did that go?
Oh, it was hectic. Strengthening the numbers was the biggest thing, and engagement for me was a big thing as well. Because like I said, people really didn't know who we were at the time. They just knew me from this one group page that we was on. So we got a lot of our activity there. You know what I'm saying? So when I created my own group page, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really going away because like I said, nobody really knew who I was. Everybody that I got membership from, engagement from was on that page. So that was tough. So I started ignoring the page I created and started continuing podcasting on that group page. So when things got haywire there, I got influenced by another person I'm not going to name to go back to my page because I have my own page. Let it grow. I'm there with you. That's when Bishop tagged along.
I want to ask you about this podcast beef so bad, but I don't know if we got the time or the recollection to get into.
We can definitely talk about it after the show if you want to. We talk about it after the show if you like.
Because you keep talking about I can't name this person, I ain't naming that.
You get caught off me. You're not getting caught
off me. I won't name them either.
I don't feel that way. I've been in some podcast beef. I don't feel that way. I give them their clout because if it wasn't for them doing what they did, I wouldn't be better than what I am now. I don't feel that way. Like you can have your clout. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna lie, you did introduce me to some good things, but the bad things that we went through, I'm out of there for that.
Yeah. I guess you're right about that. But we'll definitely talk about it after the show. But yeah, it was so difficult to get people to transition over to what we got on. So when that person was wilding on his group page, we influenced a lot of people to come to mine, and we started growing and expanding, and we're here today because of that. So yeah, it was tough though at the beginning, very, very tough.
All right. Sean Wilson, what's going on, man? What's going on? Carson Tyler, what's going on, baby? Listen, another question that I have for you though is, now what is your podcast basically about?
it's about everything that's the NFL. We cover all NFL. We talk about everything. Everybody, all 32 teams. When something new, either a news break, we love talking about that. We try to shy away from our own individual teams. We want people thinking like we're gonna show you want to hear about is Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Detroit. So we like to expand our horizons as far as to talk about each and every team or the biggest of the biggest news, whatever it happens to be. So every single week we do that. We do NFL topics. We interview people. We did get like y'all was a part of it throughout our season, season 2, where we talk about your teams. We talk about the NFL. We play lots of games. We got such down segments, trivia. And thought of the day, things of that nature. So yeah, cover everything.
Now, why only football? Y'all don't talk basketball at all, baseball, hockey. I don't talk.
Not everybody all in
football.
We fuck. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we started to fuck straight on football.
See,
I don't talk about football more than anything.
Straight on football. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know. Now, what's the theme of your show?
The theme. I'll let Bishula answer that. I don't want to answer all the questions. Go ahead, Bishula.
Sure. Give me a tough one, right?
Right.
What's up, OG?
What else are?
Well, I mean, the theme of the show is just, I mean, it's just cut and dry. It's just about football, NFL. Sometimes we tag along with the XFL, the USFL, if we deem it appropriate for the situation. But usually it's just all about the NFL. And unlike, well, to feed off what the big dog said, it's not, and we have fun with our own teams too. You know what I'm saying? It's good to talk about our own teams. And we do try, we obviously have to go to other teams too, because those impact the NFL just like our teams do. So we have to just keep it in line with it. So, we have fun with it, but our theme, we're going to be changing our name, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
I didn't want to spring that out there before Big Dog said something, but what the hell, you know. But we're going to be changing our name for the upcoming season. So that, because we got a lot of extra point people out there. So when people try to find our show or something like that, they're running like 600 extra points and stuff. It's like, damn.
Yeah,
okay, so what's the name? What's the name that you, if you, I mean, to let the people know?
All right, so for right now,
that's the hardest part.
Yeah, go ahead, Bishop.
Yeah. Well, right now we're playing with some names. We had a fan poll on some names that we came up with as our administration had come up with, and then we threw it out there to the fan base on Home Field Advantage. And what we got right now was zone coverage. Zone coverage is a name that's been taken by a few people, but the way you unique the name is by adding something onto it. And we're thinking about putting JBK as part of the name, JBK being John, Brian, and Kevin, which are the 3 hosts of the show. So I think that if we could put that in front of zone coverage, that would be great. So we're just playing with stuff right now. We got until about April 1st until we make it official.
Okay. Y'all got to make sure y'all switch on.
JBK's
make sure y'all switch it on y'all.
Yeah.
All y'all
kind of getting that feeling too. I haven't, and I'm sorry, Kevin, because we haven't run it by you yet either.
Yeah, we haven't. But he took so long to get on early.
Breaking news! Right. Breaking news! We got breaking news, Joe! Breaking news!
That's right. Here on the Side Jawn. Breaking news.
Well, he took too long to get on early when we be sure to discuss it. It take forever. We not do this.
Man, I woke up like 45 minutes ago. Let me be.
Sharon woke me, and Sharon woke me up this morning. I heard a thing. I said, "Oh, that's Sharon with the link."
Sharon with the link.
Yeah, they call me old, but my ass was up at 8 o'clock, made me some steak and eggs. I was good to go. So
until 4
when Sharon dinged me this morning, I was like at 9 o'clock. All y'all asses up. That's what
I was like, "Are you?"
Hell yeah, I would be texting you. Duh.
Shoot, I should have been up there for some steak and eggs. Shoot.
There you go.
Hey, I'm gonna say the same thing. I ain't had no steak and eggs in a while. I ain't cooked steak and eggs in a long time.
Damn, Dennis, I thought you'd be up on that steak and eggs. You know your boy Notorious B.I.G. steak and eggs.
That's why I said that's Biggie
great.
Small.
Baby.
That's Biggie Small. It's that May 9th meal. March 9th.
Well, I didn't have steak, but I had sausage and eggs and biscuits.
That's good too.
I had some biscuits.
Dang.
Biscuits.
I
bet you
I was too.
they were homemade biscuits.
Next question.
Y'all making me jealous right now. I had oatmeal. I'm mad now.
You cracked open the can.
I didn't even eat yet.
I had oatmeal.
Oatmeal is good.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oatmeal's good for you.
I had strawberry cream oatmeal.
Oatmeal's good too. Yeah, it's good for you.
I feel like making a mess.
Oatmeal is good for
There
you.
go. Anyways, now everybody has their breakfast out there.
Right.
Okay. Kev, this for you, Kev. What made you come up with the trivia segment, Kev?
I don't know. I think that was an idea that was spitballing for a minute with these guys, and I looked into it, and I thought it might have been too hard to find trivia questions to ask, and in reality, it really wasn't. Every week, we try to make it where I have like 3 or 5 trivia questions. Before Saturday rolls around, I got like 30 to 40 trivia questions that I want to use. And I try to keep the trivia questions, like some of them I try to keep it current because a lot of the older ones, people just don't get it at all.
Yeah, we had that same problem with another guy that did trivia. He used to go back to 1913. I'm like, no, we wasn't even
I didn't go back that far.
I had to let him know. I said, listen, man, I ain't start watching sports until 91. So from 91 up is where you got to keep it going. And then once we got that, that was cool. I mean, he used to do wrestling trivia too. Now I don't know if y'all watch wrestling at all, but he would do wrestling trivia, and he would ask you questions about dark matches in 1993. I said, player, we all had the same cable in 93. Ain't nobody seen no dark match unless you was at the arena. I said, you can't name a dark match because it's called a dark match because it's not on TV.
Right.
So what age was that you got involved in sports, Dennis?
6.
6? Oh,
wow,
that's a good age. Mine was when I started watching football. I was 8.
Came at the same time.
Like 10, I think I was. Maybe 10, not a 10, maybe for me. Maybe not a 10.
My parents used to put on football to put me to sleep when I was a baby.
Yeah, I was playing football in the street when I was like 4 or 5 with my cousins.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it was something to do on TV. Like, I'm just putting it like it's fucking jump rope and the rest of the shit we was doing in the street. I had no clue, you know what I mean? It was on TV like that. But yeah, trivia is actually good. And like I say, there's something to pick your brain with. It's a good game show to play. Just as long as you got like a good question and make sure you got your answers right. But when you start to go too crazy with it, yeah, that's when things get weird.
No, but he used to come up with the most obscure questions, like nobody.
Right. That's why
except
we had to tell him to turn it down.
Your grandfather's best friend's barber down the street, he might know, but nobody else know that.
Yeah, and the thing about it too on there, they try to be funny because I'm one of the oldest members on the staff, so they try to say, "Oh, Brian, you should know that one." Staff. I'm like, well, I ain't 150 years old. I'm just 53. I don't know what the hell you think. I don't know.
AB, you not old. You just seasoned. You
seasoned
right.
I age like fine wine, baby.
That's right. What I'm talking about.
I can't wait till I say that when I'm 50.
You gotta get here.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's the life.
Get there, man.
It's the life.
Right. With the four major sports leagues in the United States, I would say, how would you rank them? And we talking about NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. How would you rank them? And I'm gonna ask you first, Kev. How would you rank them?
NFL, NBA, NHL, and I'm not even putting MLB on there because I can't stand watching baseball unless I'm actually at the game. I cannot watch it on TV. I won't make it past the second inning.
Okay. All right. Now, what you What you got over there, B. Strilla?
I had the NFL, NBA, MLB, and hockey last.
All right. And JC?
The same as B. Shrilla, NFL, NBA, MLB, and then the hockey. I don't watch hockey, so I care less.
Well,
What about you, Dennis? What about you? How you got it?
I got NFL, NBA, MLB, and I got hockey last.
There you go. Okay,
I've
that's
been
three so far.
to one hockey game in my life.
Same here. Same
You
here.
need to go more, man. Hockey is good.
I've been
They
Three.
lit though. That should be
It's-
lit. It'd be lit.
It's just as
It's
tough as
awesome.
football is to me. I mean, you got to be out there on some skates. You got to make sure you
And
don't
you can
get
hit people.
You can hit, yeah. You get in the
can
fight.
fight too. I love the
I've
fights.
been
I
to-
love the
You
fights.
got to read, man. And the
The
pucks ain't no joke.
physicality is unmatched.
Them pucks ain't no joke. If you ain't paying attention and a puck comes at you, you can shatter your whole damn face with those things. It's a very dangerous sport. And just like the blades on your skate, if you fall and and your blade comes up and catches somebody coming by, cut their
Which it
face. I've
has.
seen it happen. It has happened
Twice in
before,
Buffalo.
So. Yeah, so I mean, hockey is a rough sport. I
it
don't
is.
follow it as much as I used to because I'm a Homer sport follower. If the Red Wings ain't doing shit, then I ain't watching it. Kind of like Major League Baseball
What about you, Sharon?
and the
Well, you gotta
NBA.
rank.
Well, let
Hey.
me get some of these in the comments. We got King Czar OG. What's up, King Czar? King Czar has it NBA, NFL, MLB, and then the NHL.
Okay.
Let me see. And he said that the Major League Baseball is fire, so he don't know what y'all talking about. He said it's fire. He loves
I'm not into
baseball.
it, unfortunately.
But anyway, for
Each his
me,
own.
I have it the same way. I have it the NBA, the NFL, then baseball, then hockey, in that order for me, as far as my fandom is concerned. Because basketball is my favorite sport. Don't mean to sound like a rap song, but it's true. And I love the NBA. Just love it. The NFL, I love it too, but they're changing the game too much. Let them play, man. Just let them play. That's what I say. I say that about the NBA too, but NFL really. But you're right about hockey. Now I've been to Major League Baseball games and I've been to one NHL game, and I mean I had so much fun at the hockey game. We were tipsy and everything, but it was so much fun. But it was cold in there. You know, I don't do well with cold.
Oh, it's
But,
cold as ice.
It was cold, man, because there's so much ice in there. But it was
You
fun.
gotta suit up, girl.
But that
You gotta suit up.
puck, like I was telling somebody the other day, you can't hardly keep up with that hockey puck, and that thing is dangerous. Don't get hit by one of the mugs. But like I told somebody, the Carolina Hurricanes' #1 sponsor is a dental office. Now let that
Shit.
Well, the NHL doesn't really get a lot of fanfare just because it's hockey. A lot of people don't relate to hockey, especially most of the states are in the southern. I mean, that's why they expanded down to the southern regions for hockey. But it's just not a big fanfare. It's just that's just not. I think Major League Baseball is good as fanfare as far as stadium visiting. I think there's a lot of people that go to baseball games. Watching a baseball game on TV is a little bit like watching tennis sometimes. So it's real hard to
golf.
You can go and a batter could be up and you can go get a drink, go to the bathroom or something, and the same batter will be up by the time you got back, and really only 3 pitches have been thrown because they sit there and they meander all the time. And I guess they're changing that rule in Major League Baseball too. So we'll see how it's supposed to speed up the game a little bit.
With the pitch clock.
See how that
But you
works.
know what? I guess I must be a patient fan. It doesn't bother me. The length of a baseball game, I never even thought about it. I don't watch it on TV that much anyway until the World Series.
I don't watch it at all.
Until the pennant races in the World
Can't do
Series.
it.
That's the only time I watch it. But going to the game, like you said, going to the ballpark is some of the best time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is.
It's a lot. It's more about nostalgia than actually going to see the game. I mean, you go there, you're in a big baseball park. You know, it's like we got Comerica Park here. Even if the Tigers aren't doing that well and somebody says, hey, you want to go to a baseball game? I'll go to the baseball game with you. I don't care who they're playing. We go there, we just, watch the game a little bit and kind of interact. And we got things that are around our park that we can do. So it's pretty nice when you actually go to a game.
Jay said baseball blasphemy will not be tolerated. This is not blasphemy, Jay.
Different show for different folks, man. Baseball is not for me.
It's
not blasphemy. It's not blasphemy.
It's America's pastime, but I just can't. I can't watch it unless I don't know about y'all,
but I've been there.
No, it's America's pastime. Is pastime. I don't believe it's still America's pastime. I think that's the NFL, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. How I see it. But the numbers are going down. Viewership is going down for the Major League Baseball. It's going down.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Well, hopefully they'll get it together.
I think the Houston team destroyed that whole situation because they were up there getting caught cheating. People remember stuff that is fresh. So when the Astros cheat, it's like, really? I got to watch some cheating ass baseball. That's what happens. Anything fresh in your head, that's what happens. True baseball fans won't really care about that. It's kind of like stuff that happens in the NFL. If you're a true NFL fan, you'll look at stuff like whatever Brady did or any team having a problem. You'd be like, yeah, okay. And you kind of shove it to the side, but you still watch. It's kind of the same thing with Major League Baseball. If you got your true fans there, they don't care about that. But us outside looking in, it's like, man, I don't watch no damn cheating ass baseball. What they have. So,
Yeah, I was pretty ticked off at the Astros for that nonsense.
Sorry. I've been to more baseball games than I think any sport.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to say it's NBA for me. Yeah.
I haven't even been to an NBA game or NFL game. I've been to baseball and I've been to a hockey one, but I haven't been to NFL or the NBA yet.
Well, you better put your money together to get you to an NFL.
You ain't too far from Carolina Panthers stadiums.
I'm not going in there unless we playing them.
Oh,
that's right.
Just go in and watch.
I tried to go this year, but things got crazy. I tried to go.
Yeah, that's the only time I went. They were playing.
The tickets was crazy. The ticket prices was crazy.
I've gone to at least 4 different stadiums besides mine. I've gone to Baltimore. I went to Cleveland. I went to Cincinnati. And what was the other one I went to? It was further. I think Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. That was way early.
I mean, if going to the Cowboy Stadium counts, I guess so. But I went there for so many reasons. That's only why
that was wrestling.
I was in the stadium though. I was inside the stadium though. I guess that counts. I guess.
I was in Dallas. If I would have had to go to a Dallas game, I'd be the loudest one in there, and I'd be booing.
I'll be ignorant for real.
I did that same thing, B. Striller. My dad got mad. My dad's a Cowboys fan, so he got mad at me. He was like, "Look at this breakfast you done started, and then you ought to be kicked out. Let me call Jerry." That's what he kept saying.
I got a dad story like that too, Dennis, but it was for arena football. When arena football was in its infancy, the Detroit team had Detroit Drive. And they went to 6 championships. I didn't say they win all of them, but they went to 6 championships. They were the first dynasty in arena football. But he took me to a arena football game, and they were playing the Dallas Marauders, as a matter of fact. And there's this one guy that was the kick returner on the team. And see, in arena football, you're close to the field, so the players can hear you if you're loud enough. And dude, I was loud as hell. I was cussing out the returner, the best player on there. I was like, man, you suck. You can't do nothing. You can't catch it. I swear to God, I got in his head because they kicked off to him and he went to field the kick and he dropped it. He kept looking up at me like every time he's on the field, he kept looking up in my direction. I was like, yeah, I'm on you. I'm on you. My dad was like,
I just can't believe it. I can't believe you were loud. I cannot believe that, B. Sterling.
My dad was like, I don't know who he is. I'm moving that way.
I want to do that at Baltimore Stadium one day.
I'm gonna find the clip. I got the clip of me. We inside the stadium at the pro shop. and I said some crazy stuff inside. I think I said, I did the Eagle Shan in there. And he walked away. He's like, I don't know him. Shoot him. It's like,
I want to go to Raven Stadium and do that. I really do. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to go there for any reason.
I do. I want to go right up at M&T Bank Stadium and we beat them. So I climb all of them.
I
want it so bad.
I'm with you.
Nah,
I'm trying to go to Dallas for no reason.
I don't want to go in that stadium for any reason whatsoever. Hate
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been to Dallas Stadium and I've been to Atlanta Stadium. They got two good stadiums right there.
Well, for
Dallas
football,
Atlanta Stadium is live.
Football,
Dallas
the
is
only
real
place
nice.
I've been is the Bank of America, but that was just a preseason game with the Steelers. That's the only NFL game I've been to. That's it.
I need to
Yeah, I only been to a preseason game too.
And Big Dog
Against the Steelers.
Baltimore Stadium, another hype ass place.
I haven't been in there. I want to
fans
go.
love them Raven football, man. Because I went there when we went to see.
I don't care.
One of my friends is a Raven fan. Well, my best friend's stepfather is a Ravens fan, so he invited us down to go see because we were playing them, and unfortunately we lost. But anyway, the point of the matter is, Ravens fans are some good fans, man. They are. They
I want to go to
their team. 100.
I hate
They're
Dallas.
nasty fans.
I hate Dallas, but their stadium is amazing. I ain't gonna lie, their stadium is amazing. It's crazy. I wonder why. That's why they call it
Jerry
Jerry
World.
For a reason.
That's
For a
like
reason.
that's like a
It's
field
beautiful
trip.
in there. It's real
I heard
beautiful.
going down
right
there is
there.
like a field trip. You need to spend the whole day.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I was
That's what I heard.
I was out there for a week for WrestleMania weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do want to go to.
See,
Let me just call it what I used to call it, Heinz Field. I would like to go to Pittsburgh and watch it.
Yeah, I want to go. That's my dream.
I always
I
say that there's a tie between Pittsburgh and Detroit because we're both working collar teams in working collar cities. So that's why I like Pittsburgh too, because it reminds me a lot about the Lions, except for the fact they win, we don't.
Yeah, but I love Detroit though. I love Detroit.
And
I
y'all
like the
connection
Lions. I love Detroit.
is the bus. Y'all connection is the bus.
And then Michael Parsons
Well,
and
that
Zeke
too.
Elliott was in there, but everybody was so hogging over. I couldn't even get close to take a picture because the security had to move. Like you weren't touching, getting too close to Michael Parsons or Zeke when it was.
Rashad.
Hey,
Was
hey,
sweep this year. That's right, Rashad. I forgot to. Rashad did bet me that we wouldn't
I
sweep
got
them this
the
year.
Lions winning the division next year,
I
but
do
it's
too.
always screw them. Go Pack,
I do
go. You know what? Get out of here with that Packers mess. Nobody want to hear
Packers
that.
no more after Aaron Rodgers leave.
Right.
Yeah, good
No,
luck.
he actually wants Aaron Rodgers to leave. He's selling.
He don't like Aaron Rodgers either.
Oh, you don't?
These
Oh, okay.
Packer fans are selling Aaron Rodgers so well. I'm telling you, they are selling him so well. It is ridiculous. They want him to go to the Jets so bad.
All right.
It is ridiculous.
Hey, guess what?
Just
Remember where did Brett Favre go? Did he go to Minnesota first or did he go to the Jets first?
No, he went to the Jets first.
Jets first.
They wouldn't trade him to a division rival.
We're following similar paths here. You see what we're
That's
saying?
what
I told him, I said, I'm in a time machine.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck
I do want to get down to Jerry's World though. Go see them.
You gotta go.
Go see the Steelers play the Cowboys down there. That would be lovely.
Yeah, for real.
Because Steelers, we have 32 home stadiums. Everywhere we go,
Yeah,
we are it.
One of the best traveling fan bases in the league.
That's right. Everywhere we go, you don't see nothing but us in the terrible town.
Right.
Who you directing that to, OG? Because I don't think it's if it's JC. I don't think it's he don't care about the Tar Heels.
No, he's talking about Rashad.
Rashad.
Yeah, Rashad love the Tar Heels. Yeah.
Okay. He told me because I don't watch that. So.
Yeah,
they didn't do so.
Do I need to go get? Do I need to go get my terrible towel? I can go get it.
You might need to.
Let me ask one of my last questions, and then I'm gonna let you. Ask the rest of the questions. Now, this question right here. This is more of a chocolate girl question because this is how she feels about it. I don't feel this way all the way. I feel kind of a little bit differently, but I'm gonna say it because this is more so a chocolate girl question. Okay. He says that we all know what's happening with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and Daniel Jones and the Giants. Do you think there's been some collusion here?
just asked the question.
I hate getting into Lamar Jackson conversations because it never ends. But Jesus, I'm gonna last.
I got this.
All right.
No, I don't think it's collusion. I think what it is Deshaun Watson screwed everything up, and the rest of the NFL wants to try to bring it
That's
back
what
to
I think.
normal. And it's not that Lamar Jackson, he's definitely worth more than what Daniel Jones got. He's a great athlete. I have nothing against Lamar, but there are some red flags. He's been injured twice the past 2 years. He hasn't been able to finish a season off. He's only played like half a season, both seasons. So that's a growing concern. His knee is a concern. But to ask for anywhere near $200 million guaranteed, I don't think any quarterback should be asking that. I don't like Josh Allen's contract. I was pissed when I found out how much he was getting paid. I think these players are getting too spoiled, I guess. They're being treated like they're gods or something. We're just handing them money and money and money. You can't be doing that. What do you do with all that money? I mean, you end up doing stupid shit, and then you think you also, get cocky. But anyway, Lamar Jackson should be paid more than what Danny Dimes has. I can see him getting paid. It's the guaranteed money that's the problem. The rest of it's not the problem. He wants that fully guaranteed money, and that's the big issue. 160, 180, I could see that they could work with that. But again, I think Lamar is his own worst enemy because he doesn't have an agent. An agent is a very crucial part in negotiating. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing,
agent,
this is what happens.
Maybe. I don't believe that.
but
what you got, B. Shriller?
I don't think it's a collusion either. I think what they're doing is trying to reset the market for the quarterback. Like to go back to what the normal salary structure was going to be like, since Cleveland decided to screw every damn thing up, and a lot of people are not liking that because you should pay this. First of all, I love Lamar Jackson. He's a great athlete. Okay, the problem with him is his durability. And JC's always got a thing about the availability. Okay. If you're not playing, he missed 10 games in the last 2 seasons out of 32 to be played. Okay. For a quarterback, that's not good. You should be able to at least, if you miss a game, that's probably the worst you can probably do. But missing 10 games out of 32, come on. And I don't want to hear nobody say, did Baltimore set him down for If they didn't think there was a problem with Lamar is a gifted athlete. If they didn't think there was a problem with him, then they wouldn't have sat him down. Okay, so he definitely had injury issues. And he's not. I know the stats say differently about how he is. He's second in a lot of categories. But stats don't always prove. He's been an MVP. That was the first time, first full season he played. And he played phenomenal that season. I'm not taking that away from him either. But he hasn't advanced past the AFC the AFC wild card, division. He hasn't passed past the division.
He's got one win in the playoffs.
You have to be able to be. Quarterbacks get paid. I feel quarterbacks should get paid by how they lead a team. Like, for instance, as much as I talk about Ashrod, okay, if he can make receivers around him better, that means you're a player that can make. Tom Brady is one that makes regular players better. Let's see, Ben Roethlisberger. Now, he made a couple of receivers himself. Matt Stafford, he made a couple of receivers himself. These are quarterbacks that provide you that you're going to lift your team up some way when you're the leader of the team. Okay, being a quarterback. Lamar. Everybody complains, you got to get Lamar some receipt. No, Lamar should work with the hell he's got. And I understand the offensive coordinator stuff too, okay? That's cool. That's half of the issue. But he's got to take it upon himself to be out there and stop complaining about the fact he doesn't have receivers. He did that a couple of times. He done threw his receivers under the bus. That's bullshit. You need to go out there and make it happen, Captain, because that's what you do. That's what a quarterback has to do. You're not going to be provided with everything. Do you imagine if Baltimore paid him all that damn money? He really wouldn't have no damn receivers because they wouldn't be able to afford them. So
they would if they gave it to him guaranteed.
I'm just saying. You got to get that money from somewhere, though, right?
Yeah, well, but they got money, man. That's the cap is just the cap. They got money. If they paid them guaranteed, it doesn't hit the cap like that. So that way you can still get him everything that he needs. But they don't want to pay him guaranteed because they don't want NFL players to get NBA contracts. Because that's what's about to happen.
Or Major League Baseball.
Too late for that because the Cleveland Browns did it already.
Right. And now everybody else looking like, why can't I get a contract like that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking.
Well, it's going to bite them in eventually, whether it's guaranteed money or not, it's going to bite them in the ass eventually. That's the point I'm trying to make. And what are you playing for? And I understand the NFL is win a championship now, kind of build up. Very few teams don't follow that. And a lot of teams do. So a lot of teams go out there to win a championship. That's true. You should be your team should do that every year. Your focus should be getting a Super Bowl, getting in the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. But that's 32 teams. We're talking about 2 teams only make it to that pinnacle. So the realistic ability is sometimes people got to build. But in this case for Lamar in Baltimore, they're just doing too much. They're doing too much. I'm not just faulting. Lamar is getting greedy. He is getting greedy for no reason, and just because he's seen Deshaun Watson, and everybody said, "Well, Deshaun Watson's trying to restructure his." Too late for that. It's already in the books. It's already common knowledge. So once you put it out there, it doesn't make a difference. You can't. You just got to adjust whatever happens. And I'm not blaming the owners either. Owners are not doing their part. The owners are just as much as fault in this situation as Lamar is. This whole process is fucked, to tell you the truth. And they really need to get it under control. And I keep telling you, I know this is Sharon's boy, but Goodell is the devil. He is the one allowing this stuff to happen. They were having a whole thing about how Lamar and Jalen Hurts were having issues at the same time, and Deshaun Watson and stuff like that. If this was Brady and Manning, we wouldn't be talking about this. That's another point I need to make about the NFL. You talk so much about racial equity. Come on now. Why you putting the hype on between 2 black quarterbacks? But if it was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in the same sentence, you wouldn't be doing that. Right? So get with it. Somebody got to change something. That's all on the commissioner. I'm sorry. That's all on the commissioner. He's got to change that shit. Paul Tagliabue would never have this issue.
Okay. I'm just waiting on my turn. Go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
I try to stay away from this. I think I've been defending Lamar Jackson my entire season. The season to the extra point. I think I have been since this whole thing broke. And I can't believe I'm defending him like this. But he has a case. When you got somebody that's being paid more to you, but I feel like you're better than and done more for your organization than he has, you have a case. I know Kevin don't feel like anybody should ask for $200 million, but when it started with Watson getting that $230 million guarantee, that's when it all started. This started with the Cleveland Browns organization doing what they did. Now, every time a top peak player, a quarterback position player at a high level, that is the starting peak, 230. It's starting peak. It's gonna be like it's gonna keep going up and up and up, and every single time. It is gonna be NBA contracts already. So Lamar Jackson in his head, he's like, yo, I got people I'm better than. They get paid more than me, including Daniel Jones just recently. Why can't I get it? So I know if I'm busting my ass and I'm not getting it versus somebody that's trash and they still getting it, bro, I want it too. So he has a right to ask for that now. He has a case for a while because I feel like he's better than Kyler Murray, in my opinion. I think he's better than Daniel Jones. I think he's better than Deshaun Watson. I think he is. I think he's a generational talent, man. And it's so hard to have somebody like he is. He may not be the best consistent thrower in the league, but he makes plays though. His completion percentage is high up there. It actually is high up there. It's not a consistent thing as well. He can take off with his legs. He's a generational talent, and he's somebody that wants to be paid. And you can't say and blame him for not wanting to be paid when you look at people that's beneath him. He has an MVP for crying out loud. He's been to the playoffs. May not won as much as he's been, but he's been versus something that has not been at all. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like look at Kyler Murray. They give him all that money. And look where's he at now? Look at him now. Give him all that money. Look at him
playing Call of Duty.
I was like, Daniel Jones trips and falls and have one good season out of the 4, and he gets paid almost $40 million a year. Come on, but
Kyler Murray got injured.
Before he got injured, he was playing bad. Before he got injured. After he got the money, he was playing bad. So,
well, I mean,
he didn't play good at all.
I just want to ask you this: was that a good season from Daniel Jones?
The very first best season. I say the best out of the 4 years that he played with these guys. His best, if you ask me. It was his best.
But on a side note, this is what I'm talking about: stupid ass franchises. Okay, Cleveland is the one that started this whole thing.
That's what we need to look at.
Franchise.
It's
the
their
Giants.
Fault.
How the hell are you going to pay Danny Dimes or Danny Pennies, as we call him, all that damn money and not pay Saquon Barkley? I would give it to Saquon Barkley before I gave it to Daniel Jones. What the fuck is their problem? I don't understand that.
Probably looking at availability situation.
That's dumb. That's dumb franchise
like
building. That's what that is.
But back to what I'm saying though. And on nationality, I feel like I said, it's not. I just feel like he deserves to be paid, but at the same time, it's gonna be difficult because I don't know if a team wants to give all that money to a person that has durability issues now, availability issues now. Like he missed 10 games the last 2 seasons now, so they're looking at him. But Lamar been actually do so much with this organization because he hasn't got the weapons. There's some reason Baltimore cannot find weapons for nothing. Then they get somebody like Bateman who showed light, and then he gets hurt. And Duvernay,
we know why they couldn't find weapons.
Well, we know why. But and they paying for people that's not really productive, like Sammy Watkins hasn't really been the same in a while. Prochet, return guy, Duvernay, return guy. I don't know how working in the slot, and they see that the best target is on the tight end and Mark Andrews, but they never can seem to find wide receiver talent. I feel like they had that talent to be able to try to work something, but they don't have that there. And so Lamar Jackson actually do so much within the organization, and now he's at the point where he's watching people that I believe he's better than get paid more than him, man. And the worst part of it all, he don't have no agent, so it's tough. But I feel like he definitely deserves to be paid, and it's going to be hard because, like I said, $230 million all guarantee is a lot of money to invest in one player. And his issue right now is that his durability, his availability. Because right now, if you look at it, a lot of these teams that we thought were going to go after him is not going after him anymore, and that's a problem now. Yeah, look at now. I'm worried about Lamar now. Now all the teams we thought, like the Falcons, like Miami, I think Raiders might have been one of the teams, and I think a couple of others was a part of that. And they're not even a part of it no more because maybe they're like, what if his availability is not there? Do we risk throwing $230 million on one man because he wants the bag, he wants it. And it was a
smart move by the Ravens.
It is, in a way it is. So I'm on both sides of the coins with it. It's tough, though, because now we don't know, do you just play up on this franchise tag, non-exclusive franchise tag, play it out, see what happens, or he doesn't? Because no team is hunting for him right now. Go get him right now type of situation. He's in a tight situation right now because we all know what he wants, and that's the problem. We know what he wants, and I don't know if teams is willing to want to give up all that money to one player.
Plus 2 first-round draft picks.
Exactly, first 2 first-round draft picks as well, and I don't think teams want to risk all of that. So I'm on both sides of the coin, but it is tough, man. It really, really is tough, and it's sad to see, man.
Right.
But he deserves to be paid.
Well,
your turn.
Well, let me say this. The first thing I want to say about Lamar Jackson is he deserves to be paid and paid well.
Absolutely.
These contracts are not based upon where they wound up at the end of that last season. At least they haven't been in the past. It's not about where they're going to go. It's what they've already done up till now. That's what they're getting paid for a lot of the time, which is another reason why people do not understand why the Giants paid Danny Jones for one pretty good season. It wasn't even great. It was pretty good. That's all it was. But he gets paid like he was an elite quarterback.
Right.
They paid him like he's elite. It's almost like the Giants, because they're the Giants and they're in New York. You know, everybody's
New Jersey.
York,
Big
New
market.
New Jersey.
Everything
Jersey.
is so big and
Right.
better in New York and New Jersey. So they have to pay him elite wages just because they're the Giants, not because he earned it. Just so they can say, hey, look what we paid our quarterback. We're bigger and better. No, you're not.
I think it was a slap in the face to
And
Lamar.
it was a slap in the face
Facts.
to Lamar, number
It
one.
is.
And number two, it just shows, like B. Stroller was saying, what an inept organization they are. Okay? So wherever they land, wherever they fall on their face, is where they fall on their face. So that's what I'm going to say about the whole Danny Jones thing. Big mistake. Second,
Absolutely.
I don't blame Lamar for wanting to get paid.
Right.
Cleveland was stupid enough to give Deshaun Watson $200 million guaranteed.
For the
Okay.
30. Ridiculous.
Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback
Absolutely.
than Deshaun Watson, period.
Absolutely.
Period, point blank. I don't care what anybody wants to say to me. Don't bring me no damn stats. I get sick of y'all with these stats because stats don't ever tell the whole story.
No,
And I'm going to say that till the day I die. It's the truth. And I'm telling you, Lamar is a better quarterback. Now, let me say something about this availability. You can't dismiss it. Availability is the best ability. Shout
Absolutely.
out to Marcus Betts if he's watching. That is very valid.
I
But
say that
here's
all the
what I'm
time.
going to say about this availability. Let's look at the reason why he wasn't available.
Please do. Please do.
He had to put his body on the line.
Thank you. Thank
because
you.
He had to play 3 freaking positions
Thank
and
you.
hold and control the ball. That's what he did. He almost had to do like Giselle said, put the pass up and catch it himself. That's how he had to play.
Lack of
So
talent.
this
in that- in
man
that
got
roster.
got hurt because he had to put his body in the way and take more chances because he had to do more things from the quarterback
you.
position because he didn't have anybody. He did not have real weapons. I'm
None.
not going to say he didn't have anybody because whenever you say anybody, you get these nitpicky MFers coming out the woodwork talking about he did. Look at this wide receiver. He got this. He got that. Why you saying he didn't have nobody? He didn't have CeeDee Lamb. He didn't have Jamar Chase. He didn't have Hollywood. He didn't have, well, he had him, but he didn't have a whole lot. You get
That's
what I'm saying?
saying.
He did
Exactly what I
not
said.
have anything.
Nothing.
But then they expected him to go out here and do miracles. We are talking about the Ravens, who have a tendency not to value their pass game or their quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
That's their habit. I'm not going to sit here and bash the Ravens, but what I am going to do is I am going to bash their coach because I don't feel like he stands up enough for Lamar Jackson. It's like he walks the tightrope and he stays tight-lipped about it, and I don't like that. Lamar not having an agent, I do believe it's a mistake, but I'm not going to list that as a reason why this is happening. This is merely happening. I don't necessarily believe it was collusion. So listen to me good, Dennis. I don't believe that it was necessarily collusion, but you cannot tell me and convince me that the Giants did not call the Ravens or the Ravens called the Giant and they decided what order that they're going to make their announcement. You're not going to convince me that they didn't do that. And they said, no, you announce the franchise tag first. Then we'll announce Daniel Jones' contract. And that's exactly what they did. And they did it for a reason. Would you call that collusion? I don't think so. But was it right? No.
And what's
It's
crazy
shady.
was
It's
Daniel
shady.
Jones.
That
Daniel
is some
Jones
shady
asked for.
shit.
Y'all remember Daniel Jones asked for
Shady.
45 but
Perfect
more
word.
before he got what he got. He was asking for more than what he got. He was being greedy. He ain't done nothing. Like you
Ain't
said,
done
but
nothing yet.
Going to what Sharon
He
was
hasn't
saying.
even played.
Going what
He
Sharon was
hasn't
saying.
even played. So let me
no talent.
get back to that last thing. The last couple things I want to say about it, and we're gonna move on.
All right.
I don't know why BJ's doing Z's like he tired of hearing about it, but this is the first time I've talked about it. So you just gonna get this. And I'm not bashing the Ravens here, so I don't know what BJ's problem is. But let me say this about Lamar too. I don't blame him for demanding to get some money. But according to his camp, he did not demand that everything be guaranteed. That's a flat out lie. He did not demand 100% guaranteed contract. That's not what he demanded, according to them.
No, they just guaranteed him.
Hey, real quick though, Sharon, to that,
He didn't demand that.
Hey,
That's
Sharon,
all I know.
Before I seen that when you talking about, I seen a couple of months back, they were saying there was over $100 million away from making an agreement. Like it was $100 million away from more before they make an agreement before that one came out. So they was saying that he wanted 200 million because they offered him, I think, 150 out of the 200 plus they originally tried to give him, and by 150 it was supposed to be guaranteed. But they're saying they're over 100 million apart for what he's looking for. So that's what made me believe he was asking for 200. Then I want to hear what you're talking about later on down the line that he didn't ask for 200 million. So I don't know which one it is at this point. We could take one and run with it. Who knows? Because nobody really hearing it from him. You're hearing it from his camp, and that's different. Right. No one ever heard Lamar Jackson say, "This is what I want." We hear from his camp, his people, his back end.
Nor should we hear it because it really ain't none of our damn business. To be honest,
to be honest,
that's really how I feel. We shouldn't even be knowing all the shit that's going on behind the scenes.
The only reason why they're doing it is so the NFL stays relevant in the offseason.
But this is the one thing that would help Lamar, though. If he did have an agent, he would have an agent that could clear all this up. That's the only thing I would say that's hurting him in this situation. But what I'm saying is he should get what he's asking for and then some, actually, because of what he has already demonstrated and meant for this organization. They wouldn't have had any modicum of success over these last several years since he's been in the game if it wasn't for Lamar Jackson. He was the Ravens. He still is the Ravens.
He is the Ravens.
That's what I'm saying. He still is. And they need to pay him accordingly. They would not have any problem paying him if he was a different kind of quarterback. I'm just going to say that loosely.
Tell the truth. Tell what it is.
If he was a different kind of quarterback.
And one more point before we move on.
This stuff would have been handled. This contract would have been done deal probably last year. It would have been decided already what he was going to get.
Hey, real quick,
some crazy bull crap.
One more point before we move on. I want y'all to remember something about this not having an agent thing. I want to remind y'all that Roquan Smith did not have an agent at all when he got his money, and he was only sitting at Baltimore for what, 2-3 months before they gave him $100 million contract, and he did that with no agent. And Lamar been trying to do this since 2 years, trying to get a contract with these guys. So he hasn't done it yet. But somebody that comes in for a couple of months and gets it, it lets me know that the Ravens do not value their quarterback as much as they should, because they gave it to a defense. Not saying Roquan Smith didn't deserve the money, because he damn sure does. That's what he was trying to do in Chicago, and they didn't want to do that. So they traded him instead. And then what? 4 to 3 months, 4 months later, he gets a $100 million contract. One of the highest defensive players in the league. Off gate, and Lamar been there for how long? It's a slap in the face to him too, and that's why I'm bashing the Ravens for that reason, because he been trying to get with y'all for years now, and if somebody that came in for a couple of months already got it, not saying you don't deserve it, but already. And then you look at these others that he's better than getting his money too. So y'all look at that too. And he did that without an agent. And Lamar doing that right now.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. The only thing I'm saying about not having an agent is that if he had an agent, the agent could go out and speak for him.
I agree.
In terms of what he wanted and all that stuff. But him not having an agent in general, I don't care about that. That shouldn't even be a factor. His play is his play, whether he has an agent or not. Pay the damn man.
Absolutely.
Need to pay him, and that's it. So what you think? What you think, Dennis? That's what I think.
I personally think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to lose Lamar Jackson to one or two teams. And if he go to either one of these teams, I'm gonna be upset. But it's just the reality of things. So number one team I'm going to say is Tampa Bay, because they have no problem trading for a quarterback.
Right.
And that's the only way they get good quarterbacks anyway, because they don't
and
draft
from Florida.
Yeah, history says that. Yep.
Yeah, history definitely says that.
Right. The other team that I'm going to say is the San Francisco 49ers. If they can somehow find a way to put him over there, that's a championship.
Yeah.
I just don't
feel that way about him going to Miami. I don't feel that way about him going to Miami at one point.
I don't see the Falcons I don't see the 49ers trying to get Lamar though. I don't see it happening. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good fit. I just don't
Aaron,
see it.
and Aaron, I don't think it's they didn't trade for Brady. That didn't have to happen. They don't homegrown grow a quarterback in their system. They don't. They just get quarterbacks off of free agency or they trade for them. They never have homegrown.
You're not going
to draft a quarterback.
AB know that. He a Tampa Bay fan. He's not her Tampa Bay fan. He know that.
Yeah,
you know
you're not going there. Y'all not doing it.
No, he ain't going to Atlanta.
And the San Francisco thing, I mean, that's an eye popper right there. What you just said. However, there's a lot of elements that are the same as Baltimore in that team. All right, Debo is a two-way player, and then you got McCaffrey. Somebody ain't getting the ball. I'm just telling you that right now. Lamar had capable running backs in Baltimore, and they didn't use them capable running backs. Come on now.
Yeah, but
J.K. Dobbins is not a joke at a running back position, but they don't ever use him.
That's not the same offense. This is going to be under Kyle Shanahan. This is a Kyle Shanahan offense.
Right, and that's why I don't see them going after him, but
and remember, Cleveland was talking about it was a good. Cleveland at one point time said they was out of the run of getting Deshaun Watson, and look what happened. They wound up getting him after they said they wasn't going after him. So you just never know.
Tampa Bay seems more viable because they don't give a fuck anyway. This Tampa Bay.
49ers would be a surpriser. 49ers would definitely be a surpriser. That would be something.
49ers going to go on the championship.
I believe so too.
That's just the way I feel on it. But as far as Lamar not getting his money, Baltimore ain't paying him, then it ain't gonna happen. He gonna go somewhere else. He gonna get the money. He'll get the money he deserves. I believe he deserves it. I don't understand why teams not giving up first round picks. Like I don't understand why the Jets are sitting over there in California talking to Aaron Rodgers. For what the fuck are you talking to him for? That's the shit that I don't understand. Like you talking to him for him to come to you for 2 years and you gonna pay him $60 million when you got a guy that's damn near 13 years younger, better, and has been an MVP in this league as well, and now you have a whole young team together. I don't understand why you're not just saying let's put up 2 first round picks for him.
Come on.
That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, I mean, you can sit there and contemplate all this, but you got to remember something. It's just not about players when you join a football team. It's about schemes. If you don't fit into a scheme, you don't fit into a scheme. They were talking about him coming to the Lions. Oh, hell the fuck no. He ain't coming here because he ain't going to fit into this scheme. It doesn't make a difference how much they pay for or trade for him. He ain't fitting into this scheme. Because he runs. We don't have a running quarterback type of scheme. We don't have that. You're changing the whole offense.
I don't understand why everybody thinks that he always has to run. He doesn't have all the weapons he had in Baltimore. But
because that's what Lamar Jackson does, though.
Here's the crazy thing. The year he won MVP, led the league in passing touchdowns. Nobody says that, though. Everybody always says, oh, he runs. Led the league in passing touchdowns the year he won MVP.
That was.
Can we talk about what happened after that?
First game of that season, threw 6 touchdowns in the first game of that season.
Can we talk about after that? What happened after that? He started declining.
Yeah, but he missed 2 seasons because of the injury.
Yeah, but I get it. But that was at the back end of the
season. That was the decline. The last 2 seasons that he didn't win MVP, that was the decline. I'm trying to figure out what more he want.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't disagree with you. I believe he's going to be paid, but it's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough. I don't know if teams want to do that.
I'm trying to figure out, you got the Lions, him going to the Lions, that's another young team. I don't see a bad thing with him going to the Lions.
He ain't going to the Lions.
I don't know if I can see him there. I guess I don't see
he ain't going to. I'm telling you,
he can't fit or not. I don't see that. I don't see that.
He ain't going to do that. It's just not going to happen. It's going to mess the team up. I'm going to tell you that right now. And Dan Campbell is a guy that he don't bullshit. He don't bullshit with these players. If you don't want to play on this team or you just coming here to get a paycheck, you need to get the fuck stepping. That's what I like about Dan Campbell.
Have we seen him pay for a paycheck? Does it look like he bullshitting out there?
Sometimes.
I'm just saying. We talk about Lamar Jackson. There's nothing about Lamar Jackson's bullshit. When you watch the Baltimore Ravens, you are watching Lamar Jackson. There's nobody else you're tuning into.
And they still ain't winning. That's the point.
He ain't got nothing around him, but y'all got a whole complete. Y'all got a complete young offense around him.
Let's not have that. Let's not have anybody around him bullshit either. I keep trying to tell you that. That's what makes quarterbacks great. When you can treat whoever you have around you that ain't nobody into somebody. There's plenty of quarterbacks.
Yeah, but every quarterback, hold on, sir. Every quarterback can't do that.
No, it's not even.
Yo,
it's
that's
not,
one of the
That's what you get paid.
That is one of the generation quarterback.
That's
Hold
what
on,
you get
Every
paid.
quarterback can't do that.
fellas. It's not even necessarily that not every quarterback can do that. Every somebody can't be converted. I don't care how great the damn quarterback is. You got to think about that too. And they had garbage around him, average at best, who couldn't catch a doggone ball with stick them on their hands.
Did we not watch the Detroit game?
I mean,
when Hollywood was wide open and dropped 2 wide open times.
I mean, it was.
Did you not see that game?
It was as bad as
dropping passes.
It was
that
as
game
bad
should have been lost anyway. You know that.
But it was as bad as Ben's last season. And when he kept finally throwing the ball right, and the doggone receivers kept dropping the damn ball. I know JC was pissed because I was pissed. And I'm like, every pass counts. You know what I'm saying? We barely had an offense going. Then y'all blame Ben. Then Ben got it together and got the ball to him, and they still didn't catch the ball.
Let's talk about that Minnesota Vikings game.
That's not the quarterback's fault.
I was pissed. That was tough.
They need to pay that man. We need to move on.
I think we all agree that he needs to be paid. But
they need to pay that man.
The money.
Based on the attributes that he gives to the game, yes, they need to pay the man.
They need to pay that man.
But as far as paying him more than Watson, I can't help if Cleveland paid Watson and his non-fucked up ass that much money. And nobody, and that's what the league is trying to set the example for. It said, look, we already know Deshaun Watson's not better than Lamar, but it ain't our fault that they paid him all that damn money.
They shouldn't have allowed it. They allowed it.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
That's desperation. It's desperation. It's desperation. All the reasons desperation.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about that, B. Striller. Yes, it is my boy. But my boy works for who?
The NFL.
Who does he work for? He works for the damn owners. And the Cleveland Browns owner is one of the people that he works for. So yeah, I can see how he let it go. But they let it go.
To judge that he works for the owners, because I'm gonna tell you something. He be running game on these owners, man. He be running game.
You cannot go back now. You can't go back now talking about, well, we shouldn't have allowed that. And because we didn't, we're going to make an example. And we're going to start with Lamar. Why didn't y'all make an example with Danny? Y'all didn't make an example with him. Y'all paid him. And I'm not saying necessarily that Lamar needs to get paid exactly what Deshaun got. But damn it, he definitely deserves to get more than what they're offering. And that's how I feel about it. He's earned that. But they want to nick anytime. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. Anytime a black quarterback come up for getting his money, that's when all the examples and the nitpicking and the nickeling and diming and examination comes in. They want to examine him down to his sneaker shoes. That's what they want to do. I don't understand that. It doesn't come up with everybody. And now you got not only do you have a black quarterback, but you got a black quarterback who's a running quarterback. Oh no, they really gonna nickel and dime and nitpick and examine and get down to the nitty gritty on him. No, pay that.
Well, I'm to a point. I agree with that. But to the other point, I'm gonna tell you, we had to deal with this quarterback situation here in Detroit. That had that same situation with Matt Stafford getting paid. At the time, he was the highest paid quarterback, and people were like, "Why the fuck did he get that money? He ain't been in the Super Bowl. He ain't even been in a fucking playoff game. All he has is stats." But they wouldn't give him his money either. I mean, they didn't want to give him his money either. But because it's a quarterback, and this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. The league is fucking up because you need to consistently. It's not really about how the quarterback pays. It's about how they sit up in getting paid bracket. In other words, when Matt Stafford got paid, the next quarterback after him was Derek Carr. He got more money than Stafford. Then the next person up was Aaron Rodgers. He got the most money from that. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a good quarterback. That's just how the rate scale was going at the time. And then Deshaun, with that deal, he got all that money, and that screwed the whole pay bracket up. So the next quarterback, and I'm going to tell you something, it doesn't really have to do on your performance. It really doesn't. With the quarterback structure, it does not have to do with that at all, because these quarterbacks are getting paid no matter what anyway.
Tell me about it.
So it was just based on, I'm telling you, Cleveland screwed the whole bracket.
I agree.
I
agree that Cleveland screwed it up, but why you got to start with Lamar to make him an example to straighten it out?
Because
when you
Cleveland wanted to do that.
How many quarterbacks have gotten their money since Deshaun Watson got his money? How many? No. How many?
Because he's the most talented quarterback out there.
How many quarterbacks have gotten their checks since Deshaun Watson got his? How many?
Aaron Rodgers.
They didn't make an example out of them. Why did they make an example out of them? Why they pick Lamar Jackson to make the example and try to straighten out the market with?
Well, you can't make an argument against Aaron Rodgers. He was a 2-time MVP when he got paid.
Don't get me started on Aaron Rodgers about him 2-time MVP ass. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole.
But what I'm trying to say, Sharon, those people are getting paid based on the scale that they have. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know.
Wherever that market is at,
Lamar Jackson shouldn't get
wherever
paid.
that market is at, that's what's going to start. It's going to start there.
Cleveland screwed this market up for everybody. Every team. All 31 teams are fucked up now because of it.
Because
I don't understand why you keep repeating that as if that's giving them an excuse to treat Lamar the way they treat Lamar. It's no excuse.
Because they're going to treat every quarterback like that.
It's no excuse.
I think it's going to happen with every elite quarterback that comes up.
What Cleveland did is not being used and it's as an excuse to not pay any other quarterback except one. That's Lamar Jackson.
We about to find out because Jalen Hurts is in works, and so is Joe Burrow. So let's see what happens then. I promise we can pick this conversation back up.
We'll see.
Let's see what happens. Let's see.
But
they're coming up. So let's see what happens. Because if we see 200 million
guaranteed
to Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts, I don't know, Sharon. I don't think we can use that anymore if that happens.
Well, okay, but that's gonna be what year is that gonna be? 2 years from now?
Well,
who cares?
I heard that Joe Burrow is supposed to be negotiating.
What's going on right now?
No, I got that.
About what has already happened. I don't care what they do in the future. I'm talking about what's happening right now and what has happened since they gave Deshaun Watson that money. If you're gonna use that as an excuse not to pay Lamar because you're thinking we gotta right what Cleveland did wrong. No, they didn't pick any other quarterback to do that with. Now they want to do it with Lamar, and it's not right. That's my simple point. You got to acknowledge that. Nobody else has been getting this treatment since Deshaun Watson got that check except Lamar. Nobody. And it ain't right. Pay that man. That's all I'm saying. Pay him.
I think we all agree with that. He needs to be paid. We all agree. We all agree with that.
I ain't talking about Mahomes. Mahomes deserved his money. He deserved his. I'm not talking about Mahomes. And you know we're not talking about no Mahomes, William. You know that's not who we're talking about. He's only the best damn quarterback in the league right now.
And Lamar don't have an agent. That's not an excuse either, William.
Nope.
But Sharon, you can go ahead now, Sharon.
Oh, now we can go ahead.
I think Dennis done with this. He done with this.
He hot now. That was hot now. Let it go. Let it go.
No, that was my last. I said this is my last question.
He did. See, you started. I told you Lamar Jackson talk could take forever. I told you, Dennis.
That was a good segue, though. I like that. That's a good segue.
I hate Lamar Jackson conversations. Takes forever.
I know I'm the question guru. That's just what I do. But anyway, so listen. So we know who your favorite teams are. JC is the Steelers. It's the Lions for you, B. Strilla. And where Kevin go? What's his team?
Kevin be going in and out. I think his internet.
The Bills.
His internet killing him.
The Bills.
Yeah.
Oh God, the Bills. Why did you become fans of your favorite teams? You know, how long ago and why did you become fans of those teams? So I'll let you go first, B. Strilla.
So I became a fan of football basically when I was 8. My pops and me used to sit down and watch pro games. You know, I said, well, what's this? You know, Dad, what are you watching? He's like, I'm watching some football. You know what football is? I said, yeah, like Dennis. I was out there playing it on the street, didn't know shit about rules and stuff like that. Just out there, just slinging them, knowing what a football was, but not knowing the game itself. So I sat there and watched some football with my pops for a long time. We watched the Lions. Probably, I mean, we in the same year when I was 8, and I can never forget the one game that they were actually a really good. I think it was like 84 or 5. When the game was going to be, the Super Bowl was going to be in a Pontiac Silverdome at the time. That's a shitty ass stadium too, by the way. It was. I'm glad they blew it up. But anyway, they had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They were in the playoffs, and they were playing San Francisco, who was the eventual Super Bowl champions.
Yes.
And it all ended up on, we had a field goal kicker named Eddie Murray, and he was kicking the shit out of the ball all day. Okay. I mean, he was perfect. And they had a chance. They drove down the field. Billy Sims was going off on them in the second half. San Francisco. Billy Sims, Butterfingers Billy Sims, as I like to call him. But anyway, that was near the end of his career. But they kicked they were in line to kick a 43-yard field goal to win the game because they were only down by 2 points. And Monty Clark was our coach at the time. People really don't, even Lions fans don't even know Monty Clark that well. But he led them to playoffs. So I mean, hey. So it came down, and the vision I had of the Lions, basically in a nutshell, was Monty Clark get on his knees praying that he made the kick. He was like, "Please make this kick." And don't you know, obviously, Eddie Murray missed the kick. And it was wide right, and he didn't miss he didn't miss any kicks that game until that one. I tell you, they just wanted to ship him out that year. They didn't want to wait until the end of the game. Get rid of his ass. I said, the dude kept you in the game. He was kicking field goals. He missed one. I mean, hey, you shouldn't have been in that position to be missing one. But but that's how I became a Lions fan, because, I was like, hey, give him a chance. Then I was like, I'm like the Dallas Cowboy fans. Wait until next year. Then I grew out of that after I seen them just keep losing all the time. So, but hey, I was born here. This is the Lions are part of my DNA. So it is what it is.
Are you a Pistons and Tigers fan too?
Oh, I'm a Detroit all the way fan. Whenever they doing well, I'm gonna be up there saying, hey. I'm like a bandwagon homer guy. So whenever all my teams are doing well, especially when the Pistons and the Red Wings and the Tigers are doing well, I'm like, yup. That's my team. Yeah. Like, motherfucker, you ain't been watching their games the whole season until they start winning. You damn Skippy.
Yeah, I like all Detroit teams except for the Pistons. I will never like the Pistons
because you're a Bulls
but
fan.
I like all the rest of them. I like Tiger. I like the Tigers. I like the Red Wings. I used to follow the Red Wings when I was up there in school, and and I like the Lions, but Pistons, no, we ain't doing that. How about you? Let's go with Kevin. Talk about your fandom with the Bills. Why did you become a Bills fan?
Like I said a little bit earlier, when I was a baby, I would cry, and the only way my parents could get me to shut up and fall asleep was by putting football on. They would tape the games and play them throughout the week just so I would be able to watch it and be quiet. But I started paying attention when the Bills started going. When I can earliest remember is when the Bills were going to the Super Bowls. I was 5 years old during the first one. Didn't really understand football too much then, but it definitely sucked watching the Bills lose all 4 of them Super Bowls. I can tell you that.
Buffalo Bills. Who's your favorite Buffalo Bills player all time?
Ooh.
Bruce Smith.
Well, see, I got 3 when it comes to that because you got Bruce Smith, you got Andre Reed,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to say Josh Allen. You can all
I
laugh
knew
all
it.
you want.
I knew it. I knew it. I said, got Josh Allen
Nothing
better
wrong
be
with
in
that.
there. Gotta be in
Like
there.
your quarterback, man. Like your quarterback.
All right.
I like him. It's not just his playing ability; it's the person that he is. He's a small town kid, grew up on a farm. And he's humble. He's not cocky, arrogant. He doesn't talk shit about everything. Anybody. He fucks up. He owns it. He takes accountability. And his play style is something we haven't had here in Buffalo ever. So it's nice to be finally winning again.
I like
You know
Josh
Jim
Allen.
Kelly?
I think he's a cool dude.
I do not like his contract, like I stated before. I hated that.
Mhm.
They need to restructure that so we can get some more help. Because if we don't, we're going to be screwed this year.
Yeah. All right, JC. So we both Steelers fans, and we both got the right
All right.
team. So
All right.
tell us your Steelers story. Your
As for
Right
me,
side of wrong.
I was just like Dennis and B Trilla playing football. I didn't know it was a professional thing. And then one day I see my cousin watching football. Exactly what I play. I'm like, what is this? It was like football. And he was watching the Steelers and Giants game. I believe it was 2004, maybe. Maybe I don't think it was. I want to say it had been 12. And I seen these colors, and I was drawn to the black and gold colors. And I'm like, who is this team? And he explained to me who these were, what the team that they were playing against. So I started watching it with him. And I fell in love with the colors immediately. The black and gold, I fell in love with it immediately. Because black is my favorite color, and then the gold brings it out too. So I was like, oh man. So I seen this dude with long hair flying everywhere. Everywhere I saw 43, I saw him flying. He was everywhere. I'm like, who is this guy? And then I can't pronounce Palomalo for nothing. It took me forever to pronounce the word Palomalo. I couldn't get it. So I kept saying Troy P. Well, I couldn't get the name. Right. So like I said, it became the colors with me. It became the player. And then once I got to find out to pronounce Troy Polamalu finally, the rest was history. After I started learning everything. Ever since then, about our culture, our history, the current players, the past players, and ever since there's been history, and I'm 19 years strong now, and when the season started, it'll be 20 years. I'm still a fan. And ever since history after that.
That's right. Who's your favorite Steelers of all time?
I got too many. Well, Troy Polamalu, obviously.
Ben Roethlisberger is
Troy Polamalu. All right, Troy Polamalu, Roethlisberger, of course. Everybody knows how much I love Ben. Everybody knows that. And last but not least, I'm gonna go with TJ Watt for now.
Okay. Who's your top 3, B Strilla? I didn't ask you. Who's your top 3 Lions all time?
Well, you don't like one of them anyway, but Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and Matthew Stafford.
I never said I don't like them. I never said that. I do like them.
You don't like Barry Sanders.
I just feel like they're overrated, but that's okay.
Barry Sanders is not overrated.
So it's Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and who was the other one?
Stafford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Massey. Yeah.
All right, Sherry, your turn. Let's hear it.
All right, so I became a Steelers fan. I mean, first of all, who wouldn't be? But anyway, I became a Steelers fan when I was a little girl. I was a little girl with my family. My father loved the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in our childhood, our family was very tight, and we sit and watch football every week, all season long. And so as I grew up, started knowing what I'm looking at is football, right? Recognizes football. And then I see Franco Harris running, carrying that ball. And I saw Terry Bradshaw throwing that ball. And I just fell in love with it. My sister and I both love Terry Bradshaw, love Franco Harris, love Lynn Swann, love Joe Green. I could keep naming the whole team from very beginning. And my father loved Terry Bradshaw because during that time, this was the 70s. And during that time, Terry was very outspoken. He didn't care if you were black, white, purple. As long as you had that black and gold on and can get the job done, he didn't care. And that's what my father respected about him. And so he would talk about Terry Bradshaw all the time. And then he said that Franco Harris was the purest natural runner he had ever seen, next to OJ. And that's why I love OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson is my favorite Buffalo Bills player of all time. He always will be. I don't care about that other stuff. The man could run. But Franco ran as close to OJ as you could get as a runner. He was just pure, just run over, through, elusive, all the things. And so that's how I fell in love with Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't even know what age I was. I was probably like 5 years old. I was that young. And so I've been a fan ever since. In my top 3, you're right. It's so many. It's so hard to pick.
So many. It's so many. I can do it all day.
And your history goes a little longer than his history does.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh my. I would have to say my top 3. And Dennis has heard me give my top 3 before. And I don't know. It probably changes. But today I'm going to say it's me, Joe Green, and it's Terry Bradshaw, and it's Franco Harris. I just love those 3. I could name you my top 30 easily. I wouldn't even have to hesitate. I could just.
What's your top 3 still players right now that's playing actively right now? Who's top 3 right now?
My favorite 3 right now that's playing, I'd have to say would be T.J. Watt, Pickens and Pickett. That's Freiermuth though. I love Freiermuth too.
Freiermuth is underrated.
Underrated, man.
Yeah, I like him because
he
actually reminds me of Heath Miller a lot.
Absolutely.
He plays like Heath. And from what I understand, they spent a lot of time in the off season, Heath Miller and him, which is very smart. And I like Freiermuth too. I have him tied at 3rd, I guess, with Pickens. So
yeah, for me right now it's Minka, TJ, and it's in between Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. But I'm gonna do Najee Harris right now because he's been with
I got Najee up there. He's up there too. He's my favorite. He's my favorite running back in the league right now. He's my favorite. I didn't say he's the best, but he's my favorite to watch would be him. I still like Ezekiel Elliott. I think he just gets a bad rap, but we'll see what happens with him. But I have my next question. I'm going to piggyback my next question off of that. If you were trying to convince a fan that didn't really like your team to like your team, what would you say? What would you say to somebody to get them to like the Buffalo Bills, Monkey? To say, hey, let me give you some reasons why you should like my team. What could you even say?
Just tune in and watch. It speaks for itself.
That's it? That ain't gonna get me. Nah, that ain't getting me. That ain't getting me. What would you say, JC?
I got a black quarterback. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. You like seeing winning organizations? That's all I say. Like,
you want to be legendary?
Hey, man, one of the most storied franchises in the league, man. What can I say?
Want to be legendary? What would you say, B. Striller?
There ain't nothing I can say. This is the Lions. If you know football, you gotta be a Detroit fan or somebody that likes the underdog because that's the only way you're gonna like the Lions.
There you go. Hey, be an underdog. Let's elevate the underdog together. That's what you say.
I love
and look at your colors. Anyway. Your colors are cool. It's like a blue and silver and white. It's just all pretty. It's pretty. You got pretty colors. And the lion looks all,
Chocolate, do not refer to any NFL teams as pretty colors, okay?
Hey, I'm a lady.
That's just like calling a guy cute. Cute is for puppies and babies. It ain't for a guy, okay?
I can do that. I can say it's cute.
Oh Lord, yeah.
She's female, so she can get away with that.
Hey, one of my favorite Pittsburgh Steelers is Rod Woodson, one of the best cornerbacks ever to play the game.
Ever.
That's my guy.
Now he's underrated.
One of the stories I don't like to tell because he's my favorite player as well as Barry Sanders in the Rod Woodson incident where he got his legs broken because Barry put a move on his ass.
Right.
And I was like, when I saw that game, it was like the first or second game of the season or something like that. And Detroit was playing at Pittsburgh. And Barry put that juke move on Rod, and Rod was just like, I don't know where you went. and neither did his leg. And I was like, no, you did not do that, Barry. Oh, man, you just took out terrible. My favorite player, dog.
I felt bad for Rod, though. That was.
But Rod came back that year and played in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's my guy.
My man. But anyway, okay, so look, let's talk about the current NFL.
Okay.
What do you think of the way that running backs are not highly regarded as they used to be in the past? Do you think it'll ever get better, or is the running back never going to return to being highly valued like they used to be? What you think about that?
We're talking like performance or like money-wise? What are we talking?
I'm talking about not performance, but you know how they don't get their money and they don't get the respect that the quarterbacks get.
Because
it's hard for them to get paid. They're easily traded, all kind of stuff. They're just disrespected. What you think about that? Am I wrong?
I want to say durability has a lot to do with that because a running back don't last long because they're using their legs so much. They're cutting, they're spinning, they're trucking people, they're getting hit. They take so much of a beating because they're carrying the ball so much. You got running backs averaging 30 carries a game, maybe 25, maybe more than that, and their legs give out early. And I think a lot has to do with that because they don't last long because their legs, because they take so much of a beating, so much, and it's so tough. Like look at they're here for example. He was dominating for a while. I was saying he hasn't been that same guy because now it's becoming wear and tear on them knees now. It's a lot. And I said same thing about Saquon Barkley too with them knees, man. He used so much. He cuts, spins. They hurdling. I hate running back that hurdle, especially Najee Harris. I can't stand when you do it. I don't like hurdling quarterbacks. Running back, excuse me, because I fear you're landing. I fear it so much, and I don't like it. And I hate it when Le'Veon Bell did it. I don't like what about the hurdle, but I think durability is a lot to do with that. They don't last long. They don't.
Okay. What you think, Monkey?
I agree with what John said, but I'm going to add in the fact that most teams are now running back by committee type, where, they run split backs and they sub in and sub out. So instead of paying one all this money, they got to pay two, maybe three, and try to level them out type deal in order to keep them all. And sometimes teams can do it and sometimes teams can't. I mean, look at the Browns. They've had Kareem Hunt and Chubb for, the past 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the best running back duos in the NFL.
Right, William.
So, I mean, I think it plays a big part in it, and their shelf life that is only like 3 to 5 years. If they get past that 5-year mark, luck has been on their side. Because, I mean, you saw what happened to Todd Gurley. He was a beast, and look what happened. Absolutely. He got injured. They were running him into the ground. They were running Saquon Barkley into the ground. CMC into the ground.
Right.
Now, granted, CMC and Saquon have been able to bounce back, but they didn't bounce back the year after. It took them a whole year off in order to get back to their form they once were. And that was after, two or three seasons straight where they were injured? Mm-hmm. Look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry hurt himself last season. Or 2 seasons ago now. And
the same.
Right. I mean, he's getting his yards, but he wasn't doing it in the beginning of the season. You could still see that that injury was affecting him.
Yeah. He didn't have that burst.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, you start picking it up towards the end of the season, but too little too late. And the Titans know this. That's why they're trying to shop Henry. Mm-hmm. He's past his prime, that prime number, you just, it's a shame. It really is. Mm-hmm. Right. And it is a shame, but that's why you need the running back by committee part, because just in case your top guy goes down, at least you got another guy that has, momentum and recent playing experience, constant playing experience, to be able to fill in and take that number one spot and bring up another guy to fill in for the guy that just came up.
Hey, Kevin, perfect example. The Dallas Cowboys. Zeke was the top guy. He has been playing as well. And now look at Tony Pollard. Going crazy now.
Tony Pollard is great. I like Tony Pollard. I think he should be the starting running back. I really do. I think Zeke is getting way overpaid.
Yeah, he will be next season, I think.
And yeah, that's pretty much all about I can say about the running back.
What you think, B? B
Well,
strong?
there's three things. There's three things that I have to add to this situation. First of all, yeah, durability seems to be an issue with running backs nowadays. Durability in general in players now is a factor. I've never seen so many players go down with injuries like I've seen. The last 10 years, these players are just dropping like flies. And back in the day when I was watching football back in the 90s and early 80s, there wasn't any of that kind of stuff.
And there was
I think
harder
there's
hits.
a lot of precautionary. You got to understand something too. People say that they say the players have improved and they're faster and stuff, but you got to remember something. There wasn't all that protection that they had back in the day. Them quarterbacks had to sit there in the pocket and take hits. They didn't get flagged for bullshit. Okay, so
That's right.
It's a whole different era of playing between the two because of the rules. But I think also the development of running quarterbacks, that includes everybody. I'm not making it any type of racial thing because white quarterbacks are running too. When you have any quarterback that can run on your team, that diminishes the value of your running backs. Because guess what? You don't need a damn running back if your quarterback can run, right? Okay, then. So the perfect example is Baltimore. Baltimore has like 500 damn running backs, but they use Lamar Jackson all the time. And again, that's an offensive coordinator's decision to do. But at the same time, you have capable running backs, but you're not using them. So what's the point? But teams that you see that do have good running backs, Saquon Barkley, is because Daniel Jones is not considered a running quarterback. He runs every now and then and gets tripped up by his own damn turf. But he's a pocket quarterback. Jared Goff, you ain't going to see his ass running nowhere. You're not going to see Matthew Stafford running nowhere. These are teams that have running backs based on that situation. But the development of athletic quarterbacks that can also run with the ball is changing how running backs are drafted. Because if you can draft a quarterback that can do what a running back can do, then you don't really need to put your emphasis on a running back. That's all there is to it. I think that's the reason why
I beg to differ.
Diminished.
We need a fucking running back, and we need one bad.
But you ain't gonna go get one because you got Josh Allen. He's gonna be running all day.
Hey, I better stop sleeping on James Cook. I think he's gonna
That's
be good
the
for y'all.
problem.
Hey, let me ask you a question. William said the incorporation of the rookie pay scale screwed over the running back. Do you believe that's true or
that's
false?
Another part of it.
Just one word.
That's another part. The
True.
rookie screwed over a lot of positions, to tell you the truth.
True.
It really did.
Yeah, I agree with.
I agree with that. Thanks for adding that, William. That's a good point. What y'all think about special teams? I got a special teams question for you. Do you think that we need to get rid of the kickoff? The kickoff the way it is. Why or why not? Do we need to get rid of it? Is it as dangerous as they try to say?
Nah, I keep it. It's exciting, man. I love seeing returners. I love seeing. That's usually how some of these wide receiver stories starts. Like Tyreek Hill, like Antonio Brown, like Trayvon Austin. Who else? Who else I'm thinking about that started off as a return guy and became something? Put up Patterson,
Chicago,
Percy Harvin, Chicago, Devin Hester,
Deion
Percy Harvin. A lot of people. Wide receivers' careers started as a return guy. I love special teams. I love watching special teams. I love it. So no.
Terrell Davis started as kicker.
Terrell Davis, yeah. Some career started off that way.
Yeah, I don't.
I love it.
I think they need to leave the kickoff alone. Stop all this. Just leave it alone.
Actually, I think they should put it back where it used to be at. Stop kicking off so far up.
20-yard line.
I want to see some returns. I don't want to see no picking the end zone. No,
right.
Unless you've got a weak ass kicker who can't kick it down the field, that's only going to work. But kickers will kick out of the stadium. They can't kick a field goal to save their ass, but they can kick it out of the damn stadium. So what's the point? I want to see them go back to the old way. And if it's dangerous, I mean, all the football is dangerous. Not just a kickoff. And you're trying to tell me that you're going to have to change everything if you change the kickoff, which they think is as dangerous as it is with people going at each other. You do that shit all game. What's the point? Just go back to where it was. And enhance the rules a little bit or something.
William said put the ball at the 30-yard line. Hell no.
Come on now.
Put it at the 10-yard line.
That's
what they
just
do.
like
10.
overtime.
That's all I'm about to say. Put it at the 10. I want to see some returns.
Just like the
Right.
overtime rules, y'all. What y'all think about the overtime rules? I like the old way. What do y'all like? Go ahead,
Sudden death?
B.
Sudden death? I think sudden death should
What's
be
sudden
out,
death?
whether
Sudden
it's a
death
field
what?
goal or 7 points. I think if you would go out there, I know probably that Kevin might have a different view.
Oh, Lord,
You
sorry,
might.
Kevin.
You gotta go out there. Look, if you lose a coin toss, your defense has to come out there, or you gotta go play. You gotta play. Let that happen. If you can't stop a team, you weren't meant to win the damn game anyway. So you're not trying to fix it for anybody. I've been going through that whole situation myself with how overtime should. And I used to like the college way of doing it, but you know what? This is the pro league. You're in pros. Fuck college. College is for kids. That's what college is for, to bring you up to the NFL pace. When you get to the NFL, it's a whole different level. You shouldn't have to be playing college rules. Actually, nothing in the NFL should be college rules at all.
Well,
imagine if it was, though, because the NFL, the college way is 1 foot in. You got to have both foot in the pros. So just imagine the pros do what the college is doing. Man,
it's supposed to be difficult for a reason.
We'll talk about that both feet.
That's why you get paid the big bucks, because you're playing a more difficult profession at that point.
What you think, Kevin? What you think about the overtime?
I like the way it was. I don't really have a problem with the way it is. I like the way the college way is. It really doesn't affect me either way. It sucked. That loss in the playoffs against the Chiefs sucked. That 13-second bullshit, it sucked. I can't say that enough. It is what it is. Do I care that it does? I look at overtime. I've always thought that overtime should be that each team should at least get 1 possession. After that, it's whatever. But I wasn't rooting for for him to change it or demanding them to change it. And I took it as it is what it is. We lost. So it really doesn't matter to me how they have it set up. Even back in the way they had it in the 90s was fine by me.
You too, JC?
I mean, I don't have the problem with what they got it with now. How they got it now with the 1 possession and the turnover. It's just how the way it's formatted. I guess it's a little bit better. But I would let it be do another quarter, but like half of a full quarter, and whoever had the most points at the end of that game, end of that time, duration time, should be the winner. I think they should do it that way. I think that'd be more exciting. It's more football for us to watch as fans, but I know it could be a durability thing. A fatigue thing for the players on the field, but I like how they got it now. But I would love them for maybe 7-8 minute clock on OT and let it run out, and who have the most points in wins. But if it happens to go sudden death, then I think if they did that and if it's still tied, then we go to sudden death. Next score wins.
I think your special teams question and this go hand in hand, because we had talked a lot about overtime now because of the rules on special teams, kicking off and all that stuff. Had we kept the same rules, we probably wouldn't have too many overtimes. I've seen games end in overtime on a kickoff return. Trust me, I've been on that on the losing end of that stuff before. So I the Lions have. So I can tell you that can make a difference. That's why I say sudden overtime is the best thing to do. If you can't tackle somebody or whatever, then. And I know what you're saying, William. It's an offensive league, but the defense means something. You got to play defense.
It does mean something, and that's why I don't have any problem with the coin toss. Whoever gets the ball, the defense needs to stop them, and if they stop them, then their offense gets a chance to come on and they can score. That's how it should be. I don't have any problem with that. I don't need no 15-minute period, and whoever has them, I don't need any.
I won't say the full quarter. I say half of the quarter. Half of the full quarter. That's what I'm saying.
Or even half, because the game has gone on 4 quarters and they tied. We just need one more score to get this out of the way. I don't have any problem with it. So if everybody does like Bill Belichick says and does their job, then just because you lost a coin toss does not mean you're gonna lose in overtime. Do your job.
Right.
Keep them from getting there. Keep them from getting
There you
in field goal range. Do your job. So that's how I feel about it. But I got like 5 more questions, and I don't have time to ask all of them. So I have to save them for the next time. See, that's that Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. I was about to say it. I was about to say that Lamar Jackson. I told y'all.
He said it.
I hate talking about it.
I'm gonna ask one more question, and I'm gonna turn it back over to my co-host Dennis, who will reappear right before your very eyes on screen. But my last team is this. So looking at what's going on in college sports for just for a hot second. The NIL agreements, transfer portals, what are the core teachings that high school student athletes need to focus on to prepare for this? Because they're going into college now and they're getting real contracts and making real money. So if you had to give a young person advice that was going into college, what advice would you give them? That's my last question. I'll start with you, JC.
What advice I'll give a player that's going to college, that's playing in college?
Because they're about to get some money now.
Where they get money now for
y'all got the colleges paying them now. So,
man, focus on your goal, I guess. I believe focus on what you're there for. Don't get distracted, get caught up in nothing. There's a lot of college players getting caught up in recent events like car accidents or sexual assault type of thing. Stay focused on what you're there for. Don't be too sure. Have your fun, but make sure you get your schooling and what you're trying to do out the way first. Just maintain a level of focus.
Maintain your focus. Yeah. Go ahead, Monkey. What would you tell them, young person? They're about to go to college.
Take some financial classes.
Yeah.
Learn how to take care of that. And I hope you paid attention in your economics class because this shit's about to get real, and you could really screw up your life if you don't. Because if you don't pay attention to your financials, look at some, people who've had money. As soon as they became unpopular or their career ended, they went broke.
Yeah, that's
because true. They spent their money stupid. You got to be smart with that.
That's true. Yep. What you say, B?
I think I'd incorporate what JC and Kevin said all together and add, as far as playing your sport, whatever it is, that you understand the fundamentals and you excel at your fundamentals. I can't tell you how many times in the NFL that tackling is key to playing games. And these people cannot fucking tackle. It's because they are not taught these fundamentals. And that's what can separate you financially in professional sports from being a good player to being a great player. Because great players know how to tackle. Good players don't know how to tackle. And it bothers me. Chaps my ass. That these fools cannot go out there and basic tackle. I can tell you, I coached Little League football before, and they used to laugh at me because I used to teach fundamental tackling. They used to laugh at me. I said, y'all fools, because it's not about a 40-yard dash. If the right guy gets you and tackles you and hits you so hard and make you fumble, then your little 40-yard dash ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, you ain't gonna get paid for that. You're gonna lose money because you fumbled the football because somebody knows how to tackle your ass. So this is, and I always try to preach that. And I can't believe that we have professional athletes that just simply cannot make a tackle.
Devin
failed
Bush.
Coaching, failed,
You're right.
whatever. It's a long line too. It starts at the lower levels when you're a pee-wee to go into high school to go into college. Learn how to do basic fundamentals of your sport.
Basic fundamentals. Yeah, and that's in basketball is the same thing. I'm like, they don't have good footwork. They can shoot a three, but don't have good footwork. Have no post game whatsoever. None. And it's just affecting the game. But JC, do you remember at the beginning of the last season, like the first 5 games for the Steelers, how many tackles that our players missed? It was just like it was just blatantly on the screen.
Our highest tackler for that year was Minka Fitzpatrick because he was playing the 5th linebacker because nobody could tackle. Led the lead in tackles for safety because he got playing up because nobody could tackle. Nobody. Yes, I remember.
Right.
Yes.
It was bad. But thank
Yes.
you, fellas. I'm gonna turn this back over to my illustrious co-host, Dennis Inner Thinker Podcast Holmes, to finish us out.
Yes, we do have to get out of here. I can't be asking y'all too many more questions. One of the things I want y'all to let everybody know is exactly when y'all coming back. To start your show back up with your new name and with your rebranding. Let's just say that you're rebranding. You're getting all your social media names fixed. So as you're rebranding, when are you coming back with your rebrand?
All right, so what I do, I'm gonna give you my upcoming dates, so y'all know where we at with this. So as I said at the beginning of the show, April 15th we'll be back. We'll be discussing the free agency and the first round pick predictions for all 32 teams. Then we'll be back on April 22nd for do the second round for do the same thing. Then you obviously have the 27th to 29th, which is the draft. And after the draft is over, we'll be back May 6th to do our draft evaluations. Then we'll be back on the 20th, and that's what will be the beginning of our official podcast. We also, like I said, we do have a poll that B Shrimp talked about earlier on our page right now on Home Fit Advantage, excuse me. And we got different names up there if y'all want to start what name you think is more fitting for us. And at the end of, I want to say this Friday, the poll will be coming down, and then we'll tally up the votes, and then the best name we'll use. And look like I think zone coverage right now is leading the lead heavily right now. Mm-hmm. So August 20th is when we officially will be starting our new podcast show. We'll be discussing our teams, evaluation predictions before the season starts, and obviously, September 7th, the season will start.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. And I'll be tuning
Dennis,
in.
We gotta get our schedule like that. We gotta get our schedule down like that. He got.
Well, they got time. Well, see, the difference between us and them, they got time off. So they got time to put that together.
They have cover everything. They cover everything. That's why.
They got
an off season. We don't have an off season.
We take no time off. We here every week.
We have
and I ain't jealous. I ain't jealous. I like vacations.
Yeah, I do vacations. Too. I do too.
You're interrupting my vacation.
I like my summer vacation, damn it.
We ain't mad.
I ain't mad at y'all. One of these shows I'm gonna do a vacation. One time.
one show, Dennis. One show. You're not taking a vacation if you're just taking a vacation off of one show, man.
I might do a Stephen A. I might disappear for a month. Tell everybody I got
to Well, every now and then we'll pre-record a show, so we do get the Saturday morning off. Right, we do that every now and then, but we don't. Yeah, we're here every week usually. But we did do that one show off-site in Baltimore though together. Remember we did that? That was hot. That was so much fun, wasn't it, Dennis? Yeah, we got to do some. We got to do some live in the field shows. Do some more of them.
We've been talking about that a little bit too. Not a great big deal of it, but a little bit of that. Yeah.
Oh well, JC and I live what hour from each other?
Yeah, our way.
So we need to get together and do a extra point or whatever your new name is.
Side Jawn. Most definitely.
Zone coverage, JBK. Zone coverage, JBK. We have a live show coming up May 20th. But I like that zone coverage, JBK. We have a live show coming up May 20th in Baltimore. Live show. It's going to be about 10 podcasts there, and it's a brunch. Make sure y'all come through.
Oh, sign up.
What's
going on.
Yeah. Y'all can sign up to go.
Definitely want to know. I've been trying to get on Side Jawn for a little minute now, so it's all good. I've been on Talking Issues numerous times. Always wanted to be on Side Jawn, so I'm glad we finally got a chance to be on. I do appreciate it.
Hey, man, listen, y'all know strangers to talk is. Y'all know strangers to talk is. Y'all see the stuff in the chat. Come on through.
Yeah, B Strilla.
I ain't been on in a while. I might have to come back. I ain't been on in a while.
Yeah, Sharon's gotten to the point where she tags me in everything now. She's like,
yeah, she does. She does.
I saw my shit pop up. B Strilla. It's like, oh, Sharon. It's Sharon.
Well, Kevin, we gotta become friends so I can tag you and stuff.
Yeah.
So send me a friend request.
He said,
"Yeah." Up your phone, dog.
Send me a friend request. I'll accept it. I'm not gonna blow up your phone. Don't let them.
No, listen. I already got harassed about this once already, but I took a screenshot of what was on my phone and sent it into our private chat. And I had my whole top bar was filled with notifications. I get 50 something notifications between the time I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and the time I leave for work before I go to I leave at 6:30. So
Me too.
my phone's always blowing up. My phone is on silent for a
Always.
reason. It's on vibrate. I don't have a
Yeah.
ringtone on because if I do, my phone will never shut up.
Mine
Wow.
either.
So
I've been adding, and the thing with me is I've been adding a lot of football stuff on there. Or something I said I was going to do,
like the
over course.
XFL, holy crap!
ESPN,
My XFL is
Bleacher
jumping off.
Report, the Score, the NFL, and then if you got all this stuff going on in the NFL, it's like dinging the hell out of my ass or ding it.
Oh yeah.
I'm putting that shit on vibrate because I don't want to hear none of that. Because
I got Fox.
They'll do that stuff at 1:30 in the morning too. Like I got Adam Schefter on Twitter, and then what's the other dude? The other guy that's a football dude. I got him on Twitter. They'll come up at 1:30 in the morning and be posting stuff. I'll be like, dude, go to sleep. Damn.
Wow.
Things happen.
But that's what they do. So,
All right. Anybody got any last words?
Just thank
Yeah,
y'all. for being
I
on.
always
Thank
got
you.
last words.
Thank y'all very, very much for letting us on
Yeah.
our show. I appreciate
This
it.
was
Yeah,
fun.
This is
Appreciate
fun,
it.
definitely.
Coming. Thank y'all for
I was
coming.
thinking you. Yep. Appreciation. Much.
Oh yeah, and one more thing, we will not be streaming on our group football group page anymore. It'll actually be on the Extra Point group page. I've changed the name once we do official name, so I'll be changing the name of our actual page, but we'll no longer be streaming on Home Field Advantage anymore. We're going straight.
Okay.
We'll be on it.
I think y'all should. I personally think y'all should go strictly to YouTube and make everybody go strictly to your YouTube page. That's what I personally believe. I do. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is my last thing. I do like the way that you do your reels. I like those reels you be doing. Keep
Appreciate
those
that.
up.
Appreciate that.
Keep those up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, Sharon.
we got to kind of clean that stuff up too. I'm trying to work with StreamYard because I got great internet, but it seems like some of my reels are choppy, and that don't look good for me because I'm the producer. I can't be having that, man. Make me look bad.
Well, my last thought of the day is if you want to achieve success, stop asking for permission. Just go do the thing. Go after it. You don't have to ask for nobody's permission to go after and achieve things. Just go do great things. Just go do it. Back to you, Dennis.
Yes, and I want to say, with that being said, I also want to say, get up. Just get up and do what you're supposed to do.